G'day off-trackers. So we're back for another episode. We thought we'd do a bit of an update. We've been away for a while. If you've been following us on social media, we'll put up here what our Instagram account is, but if you've been following us, then you will know what our big news is. As you can see from the thumbnail, what's this video about, Ash?
Our new purchase.
New purchase and why we didn't...
I feel like we've been buying a lot this year. We need to scale back next year.
I think people are going to wonder where we're getting all the money from.
It's sending us broke.
It's not drugs, is it? So yeah, this will be about bought a new car, obviously, and we also wanted to go into why we didn't go the Ranger. You guys would have seen we had originally the Sport on order, pulled out of that, and then ordered the Wildtrack, and why we didn't go ahead with it. So without any further ado, reasons why you didn't want the Ranger. You were the one that owned a Ranger. I obviously had so for those who didn't know, I had a Nissan Navara, then I went into a Mazda BT50, which was the Ford essentially, just with a Mazda badge. So why didn't you want the Ranger? What was your reasons?
Well, I didn't not want the Ranger. You did a lot of work trying to convince me to go with something else. I was quite happy with my version of the Ranger, the 2017 one, but after doing a couple of test drives in the newer one, I just felt like, I don't know, it was a bit over the top for...
Price wise?
Not price wise, but also with everything in it than what we actually needed it for.
So all the electronics and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Which is all nice and fancy, but, you know, with that, anything can go wrong with it. And I think, yeah, looking at through Dylan's eyes, looking at the motor and how tuned they have that motor to put out the amount of power that they have in that car, it just makes you wonder about how long that engine can actually last for and how many kilometers you can get out of it. And with us moving up north and, you know, doing a couple of big trips here and there, I think we'd rather something that we know is more reliable, and that has already been... I'm stealing your line.
No, but I also think you're going to give away what the car is.
Oh, no. I don't know, probably. If they've seen you on social, they already know anyway. So yeah, we're looking at more reliability rather than fancy tech.
So funny enough, I actually reckon my reason's the same. A big one for me was, yeah, I know has gone a fair bit more technologically advanced, the new Ranger, but the price range difference, what yours was under 50 grand, wasn't it, your XLT?
No, 50.
So pretty much, yeah, right on 50 grand versus now for an XLT you're looking for 70, I think it is. And considering you're going down in the size of motor, not the cylinders, but the actual size, you're going from a 3.2 to a 3, and yeah, you might be gaining an extra cylinder. To me, I couldn't see I know everything's gone up in price, but it just didn't seem like you were getting much more for your money. Essentially, it's still the same body. Yeah, they've changed a couple of the panels, the front and side ones have changed, they made it a bit more square, a new grille. But if you look at it, would you agree, you still see the old Ranger in it?
Yep.
To me, it's not an all-new Ranger. When Nissan changed from the D22 to the D23, the MP300, that was a whole brand new car. It was completely different. Not one single part of that was the same. Versus the Ranger, there's still a lot of the old Ranger in the new Ranger. So that was where I sort of went, oh, you know, it's not enough as a change. When I want something new. Then Ash said the motor, to me, I just think that motor is going to shit itself. It is literally like you're taking your car and getting it tuned to a really high level. There's a lot of other cars out there that have a lot bigger motors that when people tune them safely, they still don't put the numbers out that the Ranger's putting out. So to me, I'll be quite interested to see how long they last before they blow. Yeah, so for us, oh, the big one for me, the smaller, I'm going to call it a computer, not an entertainment unit. The smaller computer that's in the front, no lag. The bigger one that is in your Sport and in your Wildtracks and Raptors, it lagged, didn't it?
Well, the one that we tried out did lag. Doesn't mean all of them lag, but...
Well, that's still one. So, you know, if they all lag like that, that's pretty scary to have something that controls so many functions of the car could shit out on you. And I mean, I've got the top of the range Samsung phone. Within 6 months of me owning it, it started to shit out on me and the loudspeaker's gone. So to me, a full driver car isn't something you want technology in, because technology fails. To me, they advance technology, they don't improve what they already have. So that's a pretty clear giveaway of what we went. So without any further ado, should we get what we brought and roll it in behind us?
Yep.
Who's driving it?
I don't want to be in front of the camera, so I will.
Okay, Ash, you go bring it in and don't run me over. Okay, here she comes. Anybody who knows their four-wheel drives will know that noise. So that's right, guys. And if you saw the soot come out the back, no DPF. Pre-2016 79 series. So I found this one down in New South Wales. She's stock standard. Only thing that had been done to it is the exhaust. You would have heard it does have an exhaust on it, so just a 3-inch. And other than that, there's no lift, there's no nothing. The tray's steel, so it has a little bit of rust. So we're sort of debating what we're going to do there, if we're going to make it look a little bit nicer or if we rip it off and put an alloy one on. Eventually I think we'll go an alloy. But yeah, at the moment she's really stock. We just went and put a tow pro in it for Ash's float, and I put a catch can in because I didn't have one of those, so then I'll get it a carbon clean. For any of those that don't know, sorry about that, guys, a little bit of technical difficulty, the wind blew it over. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, if you don't have a catch can on it, you basically put dirty oil back through the motor, and you want to get a carbon clean, which basically cleans it out. So we're going to get that done, which will rejuvenate the engine. Let's go into the car, what our thoughts are, and sort of some of the typical things that people say about 79s, whether or not we have found that true and what we think, if we think it was a good buy. I guess first off, comfort. Everyone whinges about the comfort of the seats. How have you found the seats?
I haven't found any issues with them yet.
No.
We'll see.
So I did so it was basically 7 hours down and then 7 hours back. We shared the drive down in the Ranger, and then I drove this the whole 7 hours back. And yeah, your back gets a little bit sore. We stopped at Coffs Harbour, and I went in and got a little back support cushion fixed. That was, what, 10 bucks? Mm-hmm. So for those that whinge about the seats, $10 and it's fixed. So, and they're not actually, because they don't hug you like the other ones, they actually feel a little bit more comfortable in some way. So I don't mind the seats whatsoever. The seating position means you actually don't get the sore legs and sore glutes that you do in your traditional utes, because they're more a throne seating where your legs sit on a right angle, so you get better blood flow and you don't get the pins and needles and stuff, so they win in that regard. The noise, the lack of insulation, do you find it noisy? Let's go first off sort of 0 to 80 driving around town. Do you find it noisy?
0 to 80? No. It's noisier than a normal car because you've got the V8 in it. But
To me,
it's not over the top.
yeah, if you're whinging about the noise you're hearing at 0 to 80 is the V8 motor. So if you're whinging, well then why'd you buy a V8 motor? You want it to make noise. That's why you've bought it. It's a big loud engine. So sit there and say, oh, you want it to be really quiet. Well, that's not what anybody wants a V8 for. You want it for that noise that it makes. So to me, I feel anybody that complains about the noise, nah, sorry, you bought the wrong car. That's your fault for buying a V8 motor. Go buy a smaller one. At 100 kilometers and above.
100 and above, or even 80 and above, it's quite noisy.
Because of wind?
No.
You only really get a tiny little bit of wind at the window.
I never notice any of the wind.
No.
I just notice like in 5th gear, feels like it needs to go to a 6, which it doesn't have.
Yeah, it's a bit of a droning from the motor because you are revving. You sit at about, if you do 100, you'll sit at about 2.5 thousand revs. But if you go to 110, you're clocking right near 3,000 revs, and it's blowing its ring out. So generally you'll only sit in 100 on them. But yeah, you don't hear the road noise. I reckon that's probably because the engine's so loud that you don't hear the road noise. But I would say it's loud, but it's no louder than Ash's car was with the all-terrain tyres and the horrific Rhino roof rack with the backbone. That thing, you hit 100 with the backbone system and that's shocking. You want to hear noise.
It's fine.
Now, I reckon the noise that a backbone makes is much worse than the noise this makes. So that's that one. What about sort of slowness? Do you feel they're slow, stock standard? We know they're underpowered, but do you notice it?
They're underpowered, but it's not slow.
But do
That makes sense.
Do you feel it's less powerful than the Ranger or more powerful?
I think
It feels more powerful, right?
feels more powerful.
Which is weird because all the stats say it's not.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like there is more in it than the Ranger, which has a lot more power and torque. So I reckon it's a winner. Would you buy it again?
Yeah.
So if you had your time over, would you still have gone this over the Ranger?
Probably.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in love with it. Like, I'm taking photos and putting it up on Instagram with love hearts. I reckon it's the best car I've ever owned. There's nothing out there that I would sell this to buy. If I even said to Ash, if we won Lotto, if we won the Powerball, there's a massive Powerball coming up, 100 million. If we won the 100 million Powerball, I'm keeping this car and doing it up. Like, this is the car I want. I reckon the stereo. Stereo is a massive one that people whinge about. Is the stereo bad? No, you can hear the stereo. Can you have conversations with each other while you're driving?
Yeah. Well, I can mainly hear you when we're driving.
I do all the talking. But yeah, to me, it's not as bad as people make out. Fuel economy.
Shit house.
Is it actually?
Feels like it.
Yeah, I'm going to take points off it for fuel economy. Again, it's a V8. Shouldn't be buying a V8 if you're going to get upset with fuel economy. Our plan always was, this is our tow vehicle, this is our full driving vehicle and our going travelling vehicle. So we don't want to be driving it Monday to Friday. We don't want to be putting lots and lots of kilometres on it. We want it for those longer trips. So we're lucky where I've got a motorbike I can drive, and we're going to be getting a little shitty runabout, which will be fuel efficient. So be prepared. You buy one of these, you are going to lose a lot of money on diesel, especially at the moment with diesel being, what did we say, $2.30. So yeah, that hurts. But yeah, all in all, I reckon it's a great car. You have so much glass around you. The visibility out of this thing is mental. You can see every corner when you're full driving. So to me, this is a massive winner. This is a car I've always dreamed of, and I'm glad we got it. Well, that'll do us, guys. We just wanted to give you sort of an update, show the car that we got and why we didn't end up going the Ranger. That's our opinions on the Ranger. You may want to get one. There's a lot of people out there getting them. But I reckon this shit's all over it, and now you really save money and no DPF. So no getting defected by the police, and no, if we crash it, not getting our car, and it'll last a long time not having it. So that'll wrap us up. As always, guys, Like, comment, subscribe, you know, it helps the channel grow. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time, I think. Still no sign off?
Hooroo.
Oh, there we go. Hooroo. Who'd you steal that from?
I don't know.
Oh, that trip in a van. Robin trip in a van. Watch out, they're going to sue you. See you guys.